Hey everyone, how's it going? In today's video, I want to show you guys how to make a hot air balloon color wheel. Now, color wheels are very important because they show us where all of our colors are, and they show us what colors make new colors, and what colors go together, and what colors don't go together. Now, there's going to be a few things you're going to need. You'll need a pencil to draw with, or even a marker to trace with after you're done drawing and pencil, but you don't have to have this. An eraser, a ruler, something to color with such as crayons, markers, or paint. I'm going to use paint, and if you use paint you're going to want to use something to mix your paint in, like a paint tray. You can use any type of paint. I like using these liquid watercolors. And then I also like to have something circular to trace. So I just have a lid from an old container, and this will work really good. Now, we're going to be making a color wheel hot air balloon. The first thing we want to do is you want to take your little circle lid and you want to put it towards the top of your paper. Now, you don't want it going off your paper. You just want it right on the top. Not in the middle, not in the corner, not over here, but in the top middle. So I'm going to put mine right there. Now, I'm going to be using a permanent marker to draw with, just so you guys can see my lines. I'm going to hold this down with my hand that I don't draw with, and I'm going to hold my drawing tool in the hand that I draw and write with. Now, it's always best to keep your marker or pencil straight up and down. If you hold it at the side, sometimes you don't get the best line. So I'm going to hold it straight up and down, and I'm just going to trace right around here. And when I come back to the other side, I have a nice circle. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to draw some lines in here. So I want to find the middle of my circle. I'm going to just kind of try my best, and wherever I think the middle is, you want to put a small dot. Next, we want to make a nice straight line down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler, I have my fancy Garfield ruler right here, and I'm going to line it up so you just see a little bit of the dot. You don't want to put it on top of there, or else you're not going to have even lines. So line it up just so you can see your dot. This side will look bigger, and this side does look smaller only because the ruler's covering it up. Then start at the top of your ruler and draw a straight line down, or start at the top of your circle, I should say. And it cuts your circle in half. Now, what we want to do is we want to make a nice big X through here, and we want to kind of have all of our little triangles about the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. I don't want it super skinny like this, because that would be a tiny triangle. I want it to be a little bit of a fatter triangle. So I'm going to line it up to about here. I can still see my little dot, and then I just draw a nice diagonal line. Then I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. So I'm going to line this up about in the middle, best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. I can still see a little bit of my dot. Then I draw a line straight across, and there you go. You have a nice circle with 6 little triangles in here that are pretty close to the same size. Now, what you want to do is you want to take something such as crayons or markers, and we're going to make some little marks inside of our color wheel. I'm going to start with red because that's my favorite color, and I want to make a small red dot in one of these triangles. It doesn't matter which one. I'll start right here, and I'm just going to make a small little red dot. Not too tiny that I can't see. Next, I'm going to take my orange marker, and I want to put an orange dot on the next triangle. It can either be on this side or this side, however you want to start it. Next, I'm going to need my yellow marker, and I'm going to put a yellow dot right next to my orange one. Then I'm going to go with green. Next, I'm going to put blue right next to my green dot. And finally, I'm going to take my purple or violet and I'm going to put it right here. Now I have my color wheel and I've got all my colors marked off, so I'm going to know exactly what to put where. Now before we actually get to the coloring part, we want to turn this into a hot air balloon. So I'm going to pull out my ruler again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the edge of my ruler onto the edge of my circle so it looks like it's at a diagonal. Now starting right here at my circle, I'm going to draw a little diagonal line down to here. And I want to do the same thing on this side, so I'm going to line it up so the edge of my ruler touches the edge of my circle. I'm going to put my marker right there and draw a nice diagonal line to about the same spot over here. Now these are going to be the strings of our hot air balloon. What I want to do next is I want to draw the basket. So you want to make a nice long straight line that goes right across there. You want to put 2 little lines on each end. And then make another long line right across here so it looks like a rectangle. Now, I'm going to draw 2 long lines that go down. And then I'm going to draw a line that goes straight across to make another rectangle. Now to make this look more like a basket, I'm going to add a few diagonal lines in here that go this way. And then I'm going to add a few more going this way just to kind of give it a little bit of a basket look. And then there's our drawing of our hot air balloon color wheel. So our next step is going to be, we need to color in our color wheel. Now, we want to start off with our primary colors, and there are 3 of them. We have 3 primary colors. It's red, yellow, and blue. Now, these are called primary colors because they make up all the other colors. If we didn't have these 3 primary colors, we wouldn't have things such as orange or pink or brown. These colors make up everything. So you can color with markers or crayons on here, but I'm actually going to use paint. Now, when you're painting with these, I'm going to start with red, and I'm going to get a little bit of paint and a little bit of water. I'm going to wipe off some of the extra, and then I'm going to paint right around the edge here. Now, it's always good to start around the edge because that way it kind of outlines it, and then it's easier for you to fill in the middle. So once you have it outlined like this, go ahead and just fill in the middle. I'm going to get a little bit more red paint to make this darker. Now, I want to move on to yellow, but my brush is dirty, so I don't want to dip it in here or else it's going to change the color. So I'm going to wash off my brush. I'm going to get some yellow paint, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to paint right around here. And then I'm going to fill in the middle. Then I'm going to start with my blue, wash my brush off, get a little bit of blue paint. I'm going to use a little more water because the blue is pretty dark. And I'm going to just paint right around here. I'm going to go with the edge first. And then I'm going to just fill in the middle. Okay, now, once you're done with this, then we want to start painting these triangles. Now, we already have these marked, but if we didn't, color wheels would help tell us what color goes in here. So if I wanted to know what color this was going to be, I would put my fingers on the red and yellow, and I would bring them together. So that means to find out this color, I need to mix red and yellow. So I have a nice little mixing tray on here. and I have 3 little spots that I can mix in. So I'm going to take some red paint, and I'm going to mix it in this little mixing tray. So you want to put a lot of red in there. Then I'm going to wash off my brush. I'm going to get some yellow, and I'm going to mix it up. And as I'm mixing it, I can already tell I'm getting a nice orange color. But I don't want to just have it this dark. So I want to wash off my brush again, get some more yellow, mix it in here so I can get a little bit of a lighter orange. And I'm going to do that one more time. And now I have a nice bright orange color. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to paint this in. Now, once I'm done with that, then I want to do the same thing over here to figure out what this color is going to be. So I need to mix my yellow and blue. So I'm going to mix those up. I'll start with some blue, put a little bit in here, get my brush nice and clean. I'm going to get some yellow. And as I'm mixing it up, I can already tell I have a green, but this is a pretty dark kind of aqua color. So I'm going to get some more yellow, mix it up in there, so that way I can find out what color I'm going to get. And that's a nice light green and a little bit more. And now I have a really good shade of green in here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fill it in here. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I need to do the same thing up here, but with red and blue. So I need to mix them together and figure out what color I'm going to have here. So I'm going to take some red, I'm going to put it in here. Always wash your brush out before you get a new color. Take a little bit of blue, mix it up, and then I get a nice shade of purple. Now this isn't going to be a very bright purple, but it'll definitely work for what we need. So then just take your purple and fill it in. Now, once you're done, you have a nice little hot air balloon that looks like a color wheel, and it's got all of our 6 colors. We have our 3 primary, red, yellow, blue, and then we now have created our 3 secondary colors, green, orange, and purple. Secondary colors are the colors you get when you mix 2 primary colors together. Now, down here I have this nice basket that I want to paint, but I'm not too sure what color I want to use. And because a lot of times baskets are brown, but I don't have any brown paint in my tray. So something cool that you can do is you can actually make brown using your color wheel. So to do this, you want to find 2 colors that are across from each other. These are called complementary colors. Now, you can use red and green to make a brown, you can use blue and orange, or you can use purple and yellow to make a nice brown color. I'm going to use some red and green because I have quite a bit of that, and I'll see what kind of shade of brown I get. Now, it's not always going to be like a perfect brown, but it'll still work. So I'm going to take just a little bit of red, and I'm going to mix some of that up into this green, and as you can see, I'm already starting to get a nice little brown color in here. Then I can take this and I can paint my basket using this nice shade of brown that I just made. Now, after mixing those 2 complementary colors, I have a really nice shade of brown on here for my basket. So this is your basic color wheel using a hot air balloon. Now, you can leave it like this, or you can always take it a step further and do some more fun things. If you guys have like white crayons or white oil pastels, you can color them in the background and make some really cool like cloud shapes. And then you can take some colors and you can paint over those, and what will happen is they will start to pop through and create a really cool effect. So just to kind of show you guys real quick in case you want to do this, you can take a white crayon and you just color it in you want to push down hard and make a nice kind of cloud shape. And you want to do this all over. And it's going to be kind of hard to see, but that's okay. You can put these all over the place, and you're just going to push down hard and make a nice little cloud shape. So I'm going to put some clouds all over here. Now, once you have your cloud shapes on here, then you can come in here and you can start painting your whole background. Now, you can use any color you want to because skies are lots of colors. They're not always just blue. You can do whatever you want in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit bigger brush and I'm going to start painting my sky. Now, I'm going to just keep this simple and I'm going to go with the traditional blue. And I know I said you don't have to do blue, and I really encourage you guys to try something a little bit different, but we're just going to keep it real simple right now. So I'm going to get a lot of water on here, and I'm going to paint, and as I paint, you can see that my clouds are going to start popping through here. So I'm just going to get a lot of water on here, so I have a really light shade of blue, and you can see all my clouds are going to start popping through. So I'm going to fill in this whole area back here with my blue paint. And once you're all done, you have your color wheel hot air balloon with a really cool looking background. Now remember, you can always do different colors back here, you can mix different things and just really make it your own. But there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.